Alright, hey guys, so here we are. 7 will be featured in the next banner, the next event, and 7's FR is generic against single target enemy and is less generic against multi-target. If we want to use 7's FR against multi-target enemy, then we have to be very careful on who we bring with her in the team. So for example, if we bring Tifa, which is purely single unit, that will be a perfect match with 7. But if another character that has kind of like a mixed kit like Cloud, where you have EX that's doing AoE, S1, S2 has single target and splash, it will be a bit difficult as you probably will not want to use Cloud's EX during 7's FR because that will not generate the additional 30%. Okay, so nevertheless, if we are fighting against a single target enemy with Snakebite debuff at level 3, she will allow the party to easily generate 75% HP damage bonus per turn, and that is really good. So the score that I would give her FR is 5/5 if we are fighting against single target enemy, and 2/5 against multi-target, because it still works, it can still work, it's just that you need to plan a little bit more in order to make it work. So the second part here is 7's FR as Echo FR. First of all, I think that she has a pretty good Echo FR because it helps to renew her bondage whip, or else the only way to actually get this buff is through her LD and then through her HP plus that will change after she uses her LD. Now the FR echoes, or basically the FR applies the same buff as well. And this is great because like after you activated the main FR and you wanted to renew the buff, you can just use her echoes to renew it. So it makes it easier to play with her kit that way. And the thing with her FR is that it has a total of 780% HP damage limit. So another word is 680% HP damage limit up. Okay, so if you assume that you have somewhat like 200,000 HP damage, with that additional 380 you will be doing like 800 or 900,000 per HP dump, and that is without HP damage bonus. If you factor in 999% HP damage bonus, she will easily do 30 to 40 million per Echo FR. Alright, so that is a very good new button. So do consider using her. If you are using her, do consider to keep her FR until the end, like how I demonstrated Terra's FR to be. So you can use it the same way and you can easily get up 40 million per use of her FR. Okay, so another way overall, I think that she has a good FR, and if you really are using her in a FR phase, do consider this to turn Hawk at the end of the FR phase, where she can use LD, 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 FR because her LD is instant turn. So that could be quite devastating. I believe she will do some pretty decent damage. So I give her FR Echo a 4/5. Alright, so for her base kit, personally I think 7 is mainly for single target fight and can be awkward against multiple units. But luckily now that she have her LD, which is instant turn, this makes it easier to swap units that she is targeting because the LD reapplies level 3 Snakebite, and this is also good during a FR phase because you do not want to waste time switching target and rebuilding Snakebite buff, especially when her FR depends on Snakebite debuff level. For her S2, it's probably her hardest hitting skill because it has a total of 8 HP dumps because it attacks twice if the enemy has Snakebite debuff. So let's just assume that most of the time if you use S2, it will be against a unit that have the debuff, so it's 8 HP dumps total. And if you include her follow-up, is roughly about 9 HP dump. And her follow-up activates during player's turn and for any action, any turn, boss turn. So when you add up like a full cycle of turns, she actually deals like more than 10 HP dumps. Okay, if you put it that way. So her damage is actually pretty decent. And here I want to talk about another part of a kit, which is her follow-up attack. It is not only just damage, her follow-up attack has gravity. So regardless of brave damage, gravity will always deplete enemies' brave, and best is that it doesn't break the enemy, because this would give us some form of tactical advantage to control enemy turn order or turn spacing, or sometimes like you are using a character like Lightning who just wants to break enemy more so that she can get consecutive turn, or you are like fighting against unit like, I mean not fighting against, like if you have Dorgan in your party where you want to break the enemy one time at once and not break both of them at the same time, because if you break the enemy once at a time, then you can trigger multiple follow-up from Dorgan. So that is actually pretty useful, but is situational. Alright, so her follow-up is based on 400% of her attack, and it scales with HP damage bonus, unlike Dark Knight Cecile. Dark Knight Cecile's off turn is 1200%, so it's actually 3 times lesser, but DKC does not scale with HP damage bonus, but 7 does. And if you are using 7 purely for off turn damage, like how you would use Kane, so you put 7 in your party and have her follow-up trigger every turn, then do consider using Aerith or Waka's base call, because it grants 80% attack up to 7, and that will actually boost the damage that she dealt from her follow-up. The one problem is that in an era where every new or refeatured unit will be receiving a BT, she definitely needs one, because she would lack the aura from a BT effect, whereby moving on, if you bring the new characters Sarah, Mok, Warrior of Light, Neon, everyone have a BT, and everyone has that 20 to 30% HP damage cap up, and she doesn't. So you will find it a bit lacking and probably not use her as often. So personally for me, basically one of the reasons is due to that. I probably will not be using her so much, so I will be skipping her banner, but I will pull her using my alternate account so that I can feature her runs, tips on using her, so that anyone who pulled her will at least know what to do with her kit. Anyway, her overall score I would give a 5/10. Thank you and good luck with your pulls.